he comes across as a very warm character.
Right, we're going to continue this conversation in a bit. We'll have Leandro joining us. Did you mind just stepping this way, Leandro? Sorry. Can we have you perhaps on this side? There you go, perfect, there we go. I think we've got a microphone for you as well, individually, so you don't... There you go, you can pass it on, perfect. First of all, congratulations on what has been a fantastic North London derby, 3 points in the bag, and extending the lead at the top of the table as well. It took a bit of patience from your side, you broke the deadlock here. I mean, but it was all guns a-blazing, isn't it? Can I talk to you first and foremost about your goal from your perspective? I've got your clip here, if you don't mind. Just kind of talk us through what's happening here.
Yeah, the moment Mikel gets the ball, I'm trying to run him behind. He sees me. It's such a nice ball, and then I try to get my shot off, and it goes in. And yeah, I'm so happy with it because, as you said, it breaks the deadlock. And from that moment on, I think we tried to create so many chances. We were dominant all over the pitch, and I think it was such a good game from us.
Did it feel like a lift-off moment for the team from that goal onwards?
Yeah, a little bit, because obviously it's still Spurs, but they came here to defend, I think, with the back five, and it was up to us to break them down, and with that goal we did it, and after that I think the chances came and we took our goals.
Yeah. We were surprised how defensive they were, because we were surprised, with a set with the back five, and in the first half I thought they were really poor. Were you surprised that they didn't offer anything more?
Yeah, maybe a bit, because, as I said, it's still Spurs, but we have been facing a back five a lot of times this season, so we're kind of used to it. But in the end of the day, I think it's a really, really good performance from us. We could have scored even more, I think, but we're really happy with the result.
Is that something that you work hard on the training ground, breaking down? Because teams will come here, play a low block against you, and you have to be patient at times like you were today.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the key, to be patient, not to rush things. If teams come here to sit down and try to defend as much, it's just up to us. I think if everyone's at it, we can break down any team, and that starts with patience.
I think Spurs came here with the best away record. Was it a surprise that they sat in a low block? Was you surprised with it?
Yeah, as I said, maybe a little bit, yeah. But I think our home record at the moment is also really good, and the way we play, and we just need to look at ourselves. If everyone's at it, I think we can win every game, but we have to do it.
Does that show how much respect teams are giving you when they come here and sit in? Do you feel like you get gaining respect from the opposition when you see that?
Yeah, sure. I think, as I said, the last couple of weeks we have been facing a lot of back fives, so it's up to us to break them down, either as the back 4 or 5, but I think we're on a really good run, and we need to keep going.
Well done, mate.
I think it's a bigger 3 points here this weekend for you, also because Manchester City dropped points last night. But how much in this title race, how much have you kept an eye on what happened at St James's Park yesterday, or is it just focusing on what you guys are doing?
I think everyone will watch that game, but as I said, at the moment we need to focus at ourselves, and I think we've been on a really good run, but it's still very early on in the season. But
did it give you incentive to want to extend the lead today?
Yeah, I think so. We always want to win every game, but and especially with the game today, the North London derby, what we wanted to give back to the fans. I think the atmosphere was so good, and that pushed us as well. And yeah, you could see it was great.
Well, it's a big week for you as well, not just here today. Bayern Munich in midweek, and then Chelsea at the weekend. Hopes for a perfect 7 days then.
Yeah, for sure. Let's enjoy tonight, and then we will work from tomorrow on to Wednesday.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Leandro. Congrats again on the goal and the victory, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, Mikel, did you just love everything about that, everything the club, the team delivered today?
Yeah, I enjoyed every minute of it. The preparation since they came back from the international break, the energy that I felt, the hunger to play the game, the enthusiasm, the joy, and then when you are able to play in the manner that we played, perform in the manner that we did, and to win with the goals that we scored against our rivals, always is a very special day.
When it's the North London derby, on both sides, people speak beforehand about, almost tactics going out the window. It's about character. Is it about fight? Did your team win in that regard today?
Well, we certainly wanted to impose ourselves in every department, but he has to start that with that intensity, with the duels being very precise because the space is limited. There's a lot of aggression on the pitch. They are a really, really good team, and yeah, we have to earn it. I think we started from the beginning really strong, really intense, creating a massive chance with Declan straight away, and we had to be patient. But we look very dominant. We scored 2 magnificent goals to start with, and then in the second half as well, we maintained the consistency. And even though there are things to improve, overall I think it was a great performance.
Yeah. That said, in the tactical aspect, you did seem to find a particular way of going sort of round their shape and then an underlapping run coming through it. And you did say beforehand you half expected them to play a 3 at the back or a 5 at the back. So how much of that actually was plotted on the training pitch?
Well, during the international break, I had a lot of time to think and to analyze and to think what they could do. Analyze the games, our games, and what was probably the best chance for us, for them to create issues against us. And that was a possibility that we prepared. Obviously, we didn't know the moment we got the lineup. We made the adjustment that we had to make, and then the players delivered an incredible performance.
So I know you won't want to give too much away, but that's really sort of fascinating to us. So with that extra time you had on your hands during the international break, like, what did you see about what they do that you thought? Because you ended up with loads of, so much came with you having chances centrally. You obviously worked that space.
Well, just try to understand and how they can be thinking, what's the perception they have in relation to us and what we believe that they can do, but we don't know. But our job is to be prepared and then, yeah, within the game plan that we want to provide, simplify it as much as possible, whether they play with one formation or the other. And then the players have to deliver, and they certainly done it today.
And Eze today, and I know it's hard to sort of talk about him on a day where he's done it against Tottenham, but do you think back to that in the summer? I think that was, forget Tottenham, but was that a huge moment? Because you'd already had a good transfer window, and you went again.
Yes, obviously as well we had the news that we had, and thanks God we had the window, and the club was really supportive, and Andrea was excellent delivering that because at the moment we are missing Gabriel, Kai Havertz, Victor Gyökeres, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Martin Odegaard, Martinelli just came back, Noni Madueke just came back, so thanks God we have a lot of players.
It's actually worth picking out maybe a couple of unsung heroes, not maybe unsung to you, but guys that we don't talk about probably a lot. Trossard, Marino, both brilliant again today.
Unbelievable. They've been so consistent as well the whole season, and credit to them, the way they prepare themselves, how much they want it. They are able to play in different positions. I think Piero as well. I mean, that was a big task to replace Big Gabi. That's a major job, and I think he was excellent from the beginning.
Lastly, Pep Guardiola said on Friday, if Arsenal are that good, that if they get a 6-7 point lead, they're going to be really hard to stop. Do you feel like the way you're playing with the players you've got to come back, you're going to be really hard to stop now?
I don't know. You have to go game by game. I know the league is so tough when you look at the results yesterday and today, and the margins that teams are winning matches for, is super reduced. So we know that it's going to be a long journey. We are really excited what we're doing. We have to maintain that momentum. Enjoy today and tomorrow. Bayern Munich.
It doesn't get any easier. Well done, Miguel.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Barry, is football giving you many feelings as good as that one?
Yeah, that's a good one, man. Enjoyable day. Happy to help the team and to win today is special, you know.
Every boyhood Arsenal fan, every fan still left in this stadium would dream of doing what you've just done. How special is it? What does it feel like?
Special, man. I'm grateful again, man. That's what I prayed for. I prayed for it today, man, a hat-trick, and I got it today, so I'm grateful to God, man.
Did you have that feeling today? I saw you at the end, I saw you after your hat-trick goal, kind of pointing to the sky. Did you have that sense today that someone had a plan for you, someone was looking down at you?
That was the prayer today. A hat-trick, and God gave it to me, so
delivered.
Again, that's faith, man.
And I know you're all Arsenal, your family, and I believe you're over there by that over and over again sign, so who else is here from the Eze family to enjoy that?
All my family's here, man, again, so it makes it even more special to do it in front of them.
And of course, had the summer worked out differently, you could have had a different shirt on today.
Let's not speak about that.
No, I thought you might say that. Pick of the goals.
They're all good, man. I don't know. Maybe the second one, man. That was my favourite.
Why?
Just the timing of it was just the right time, and yeah, man. Honestly, it's a special. All of them are good for me because I know that I've been working on it, the process, to get in those positions. So yeah, it's worked out.
First senior hat-trick as well, I think.
Yeah, it is. Again.
Two quite a few times. Not a bad time to get the hat-trick.
Yeah, special one. As I said, words can't explain this one today, man.
Well done. Look, you're the player of the match as well. First Arsenal player to score a hat-trick against Tottenham in nearly 50 years. Player of the match. There's a little match ball down there under your foot, so the old mantelpiece is going to be a bit more packed. Well done.
Not bad, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Cheers, man. Well done.
Hello, Mikel.
Hi.
What a satisfying day. I mean, it was an incredibly impressive victory and then a very challenging. And what a story.
Well, a great day. I enjoy every minute of it, from the preparation. Since the moment that the players come back from international duty, I sense a feeling that they wanted to be together again, that they were ready for a fight, they were ready for a big week, and the preparation was top. Then you have to deliver it, obviously, with the energy that our people brought to the stadium. It made a huge difference. I think individually the players were exceptional from the minute one. We were super dominant in almost every phase of the play. So yeah, a day to remember. You don't win a derby 4-1 every time, and hopefully we made a lot of Arsenal supporters very proud and happy.
Could you sense that Eze really wanted to kind of almost own this occasion? Because I mean, Arsenal Spurs rivalry reached sort of freedom zones in the summer, but his kind of statement performance in those goals today.
Things happen for a reason, and after the international duty, he had 2 days off, and after 1 day, he wanted to train, and he wanted to improve, and he wanted to do extra practice. And he was asking me questions about this and that. And when a player has such a talent and his desire is at that level, then these things happen. And he fully deserved that. I'm so happy for him, because since the day that he came, he brought something else to the team. Certain joy, certain aura that this team needed. And now hopefully will give him a lot of confidence to him and the team that in any moment he can win us a game. And that's the ability that he has, and he certainly needs to fulfill that talent.
Tom, Football London.
It's felt like one of Leo's best performances as well, and with so much noise and talk around him in the summer, and then taking a game like that by the scruff of the neck, it really felt like he took things to a new level.
Yeah, for me no, because for me it was forbidden for him to leave. No chance. I know the player that he is, and surrounded with the players that we have, he's a player that is going to make the difference for us. I fully agree. It was one of the best games, so aggressive with or without the ball, so effective. He could have scored another 1 or 2 goals, and he was involved in so many positive actions. So that's what we need. As I said, I think individually the players were excellent today.
James, CBS.
Mikel, could you just reflect on Everett's quality of just pulling the trigger? He takes a lot of shots, and maybe was that something you were missing last season? Someone who just sort of sees the ball and hits the ball?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and it can be right, left, ball on the ground, bouncing, ball at this height, and he takes it. And he has such a quality and capacity to finish actions in different ways that we need to play him very close to the box, because apart from that, obviously, for example, the ball that he put to Declan in the second minute, I think it was, to play him through and create a big chance, is exceptional. We need to play him in his qualities. The more he spends time there, the better for the team.
Ed, Guardian.
I just thought Ed, he's obviously had an amazing year, won the FA Cup for Palace, and he's got his dream move. Do you sense in him sort of a desire to keep going, keep achieving stuff and winning things?
Yeah, well, that's what he showed from the beginning. And when he picked up the phone, I remember last summer, and he said he wanted to play for us and he wanted to be part of this team. You can really sense that. And hopefully he can enjoy today, and tomorrow he's ready for Bayern Munich.
James, ESPN.
You talked before about the importance of capitalising on weekends where your rivals lose. I mean, just how important is this result in the context of Liverpool and City not winning?
Yeah, and especially after the Sunderland game, that at the end we lost 2 points in the last kick of the game, basically. And we went to the international break with that bitter feeling, because we didn't concede any goals, and we had 10 straight wins, and we wanted to get back to earning that momentum again, and the London derby and today's performance, it's a good start.
6 points clear. What does that mean?
In this league? Not much. That we are doing really well, that we've been really consistent, and that's it. I mean, when you look at the results, whether they win or lose, the difference in the scoreline and actually what happens in games is really small. We know that we need players back immediately today. We got Noni back on the pitch, which is great, but we're still missing a lot of important players, and we're going to need all of them. The good news is we lose Big Gavi, which for us is a massive blow, and Piero comes in, and I think he was fantastic from the beginning.
David from the ZK Sport.
Hi.
When you look at the team and you look at the performances you guys are continually putting on, what are you most happy about? What do you think is making the difference between you and the rest of the group so far?
Well, I don't know. From looking at our team, it's the application, it's the energy, it's the desire to be the best version of themselves every single day. That's what I sense. And sometimes we are better, and some other times not that good. But the willingness and the desire to win and be there, it's without a question for me the biggest attribute for this team.
And finally, from Frida from Aftonbladet.
Interesting movement from Mikel Merino on the pitch. How important was his performance today?
Yes, I think it was incredible again. And we are asking him to feel as a 9, and he's not a 9, and to do a lot of the things that a 9 has to do. But he's such an intelligent player, and his work ethic and his desire to contribute and make others better is that big. Then at the end, those performances give you the right reason to continue to trust him.
And finally again from Miguel from Independent.
Just on Mikel Merino, do you get irritated when he's described as defensive, given that?
I don't know. A defensive 9.
Okay, Bob. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
The future of Ethan Nwanery's potential loan move is suddenly uncertain, as Arsenal remain wary of repeating past setbacks caused by injuries. According to recent reports, the club is open to sending the young midfielder out on loan this winter, but the idea raises immediate questions. Nwanery has become the talk of the moment after a report from the Daily Mail suggested that Arsenal are considering a temporary move for the 18-year-old. Despite his limited minutes this season, the thought of letting him leave, even temporarily, comes with significant doubts. Back in October, Mikel Arteta publicly insisted that Nwanery would have plenty of opportunities to play, pointing to the fact that the teenager had already been called upon when Martin Odegaard was injured. "I don't know, but I don't work with expectations," Arteta said at the time. "I work with what the players can give in the context of where the team is at that moment." Ethan played 2 Premier League matches early on because Martin was out. He's played in other competitions and he'll play more. Yet the reality has been very different. Nwanery has logged fewer than 500 minutes this season, appearing in just 5 of Arsenal's 11 Premier League games, none of them as a starter. His only starts came in the 2 EFL Cup wins over Port Vale and Brighton, and in the 3-0 Champions League victory against Slavia Prague. The arrival of Ebereki Eze and the promotion of Max Daumann have tightened competition even further. And despite injuries to Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and Noni Madueke, Nwanery's pathway has only narrowed. It's easy to forget how young he still is. At 18, and having first debuted at just 15, like Daumann, these are formative years where consistent playing time is crucial. The busy festive period could open that door, but with Odegaard, Madueke, and Kai Havertz all nearing their returns, there's a real chance Nwanery could slide even further down the pecking order. This is why a January loan sounds logical on paper, but it also sets off alarm bells. Arsenal's season has already been shaped by injuries for the second year in a row, and squad depth has never felt more essential. A single setback among the attacking players over the holiday fixture run could thrust Nwanery back into an important role almost overnight. The more sensible approach may be to reassess in the summer, once the squad naturally reshapes and the club have a clearer picture of their needs heading into 2025. Only then would a loan feel more secure, ensuring Nwanery actually gets the minutes he needs rather than risking another stalled development. Even then, nothing is guaranteed. Supporters will remember Serge Gnabry's loan to West Brom, intended to push him closer to first-team football, but ultimately a move that derailed his progress before he rebuilt his career in Germany. Arsenal's recent history with loans has been mixed at best, and too often unsuccessful. For now, the club must weigh the immediate needs of the squad against the long-term growth of one of their brightest prospects. Whether a loan becomes the right option, or another cautionary tale, remains to be seen. But the complexity of Nwanery's situation extends beyond simply playing time and squad depth. Inside the club, there is an ongoing debate about how quickly young talents should be exposed to the pressures of elite-level football. Some staff members argue that Nwanery's technical level is already above many players his age and that keeping him close to Arteta's structure will accelerate his development. Others believe that without consistent starts, and without a clear pathway to earn them, his progress could plateau. The uncertainty has also stirred conversation among supporters and pundits. Several former Arsenal players have expressed concern that the club may be repeating old patterns, where promising youngsters become trapped between first-team aspirations and inconsistent minutes. Others, however, believe the club is being careful for the right reasons, protecting a player who still needs physical development before facing the demands of weekly Premier League battles. This internal and external pressure has placed added scrutiny on Arteta's handling of young talents this season. While he has been praised for trusting academy graduates in the past, the balance has become harder to maintain now that Arsenal are competing on multiple fronts and aiming for silverware. Every decision carries weight. Resting senior players risks losing points, while overusing inexperienced teenagers risks injury or decline in confidence. There is also the broader question of what kind of loan would actually benefit Nwaneri, should the club eventually decide to pursue one. A move to a Premier League side fighting relegation could offer minutes, but expose him to a demanding environment that prioritizes survival over development. A championship loan, on the other hand, might provide consistent matches, but at the cost of adjusting to a more physical style that does not always align with Arsenal's tactical identity. European options have been mentioned as well, though not confirmed. The possibility of joining a club in the Netherlands or Germany, leagues known for nurturing young talent, has been discussed quietly among observers. Yet Arsenal are hesitant, given how unpredictable such moves can be and how often they fail to produce the expected results. Meanwhile, Nwaneri himself remains focused and professional, according to those around the training ground. He is said to be eager for opportunities, but not frustrated or discouraged. The coaching staff admire his attitude, which only complicates the decision further. He is doing everything right, and still his future remains uncertain. As Arsenal approach the January window, the club finds itself at a crossroads. The next few weeks will likely be decisive, not just for Nwaneri's short-term career, but for how Arsenal choose to manage their most gifted prospects in an era of high expectations and relentless schedules. Any decision made now will be examined closely, not only because of what it means for Nwaneri, but because it will signal how the club intends to balance ambition with development as they move into the next phase of Arteta's project. Arsenal now face a difficult setback. Piero Hincapié may have to step into the North London derby under less than ideal circumstances after Gabriel's injury blow. The club is hoping that Hincapié's long late return trip to North London won't affect his readiness to replace Gabriel against Tottenham, because losing the Brazilian for such a crucial match is a major hit to Mikel Arteta's plans. Arsenal have already been forced to cope with key absences at various stages of the season, but Gabriel missing the derby presents a challenge of a very different magnitude. Naturally, the focus shifts to who will fill the gap on the left side of Arsenal's defense, and for many, the most logical answer is Piero Hincapié. The summer signing impressed during his only start for the club so far, an outstanding display at left centre-back in the League Cup win over Brighton. That night, he partnered with Christian Mosquera, who is also an option for Arteta on Sunday. One possible configuration would see William Saliba move to the left, with Mosquera taking his place on the right, depending on how heavily Hincapié's international travel weighs on Arteta's decision. And that travel is far from insignificant. The Ecuadorian defender is currently away with his national team. He captained Ecuador during their 0-0 draw with Canada, helping secure the clean sheet. But the real concern comes with his final international fixture. Ecuador face New Zealand in New Jersey in the early hours of Wednesday morning, UK time. The match kicks off at 1:30 a.m. and is expected to finish around 4 a.m. Only after that will Hincapié board his flight back to England, meaning he won't arrive in London until Wednesday afternoon at the earliest. From there, he will have just a handful of days to recover, settle back in, and prepare for one of the most intense fixtures of the season. The slight silver lining is that the derby falls late in the weekend, giving him as much time as possible to reintegrate. Still, the timing of his return is far from ideal and adds yet another layer of uncertainty to Arsenal's defensive preparations ahead of a match that could define their momentum for weeks to come. Beyond the logistical headache, Arteta and his staff must also consider the physical and tactical demands that a North London derby imposes. It is not the sort of match where a defender can arrive underprepared, particularly against a Tottenham side that has looked sharp in attack this season. Any hesitation, any lapse in intensity caused by travel fatigue, could be costly. Inside Arsenal, there is a quiet concern that the club may once again be walking a tightrope with its defensive depth. Over the past 2 seasons, injuries at the back have forced Arteta into uncomfortable choices, and Gabriel's setback reopens a conversation that the club hoped was behind them. The manager has repeatedly emphasized the importance of continuity across the defensive line, especially given how central the high defensive line and controlled build-up are to Arsenal's identity. Gabriel and Saliba have been at the core of that stability, and disrupting it inevitably changes the team's rhythm. Analysts close to the club have noted that Hincapie's profile fits the role well, confident under pressure, quick across the ground, and capable of progressing the ball with either foot. However, they also caution that he is still adapting to the Premier League's pace and physicality. Throwing him straight into a derby environment may accelerate his integration, but it also carries risk. Supporters have expressed mixed reactions as well. Many are eager to see Hincapie given a real opportunity, believing his style suits Arsenal's long-term plans. Others worry that asking him to deliver immediately, under difficult circumstances, could place unnecessary pressure on a player still in the early stages of adjusting to English football. The timing of Gabriel's injury also complicates Arsenal's broader goals. With a congested winter schedule approaching and the title race tightening, every match takes on heightened importance. Dropping points against Tottenham could shift momentum, not just in the standings but in confidence across the squad. It also forces Arteta to rethink how he manages minutes for defenders who have already logged heavy workloads this season. Club insiders say the staff have been preparing contingency plans for weeks, anticipating scenarios where international duties and injuries overlap. Yet even the best planning can be stretched thin when travel delays and late-night kickoffs are added to the equation. In the coming days, the medical and performance teams will conduct assessments to determine exactly how ready Hincapie is for Sunday's showdown. Arteta is expected to make a late decision, balancing long-term health with short-term necessity. The hope is that the Ecuadorian arrives in good condition, responds well to training, and can at least offer a reliable solution in Gabriel's absence. What remains undeniable is that Arsenal enter the derby under a new layer of pressure, forced to adapt, to trust their depth, and to test the resilience that has been a defining theme of their season so far.